everybody, welcome to Pink's Garage. This is Pink here. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you don't want to miss any more updates in the future, check that bell and make sure it's set to all notifications. So now today what we're doing is something we just recently did, but for somebody else's car. Today I'm going to do it for mine, and what we're doing is we are going to update the 2016 Mustang GT with a GT350 steering wheel. So I know what you're thinking. This looks like a GT350R steering wheel. Well, it's not. It's a GT350 steering wheel I bought for less money, and I painted with some acrylic leather paint the red stripe onto the black one. So it looks pretty nice, pretty smooth. I mean, really nice red, and it's clear coated and everything, so it's supposed to last, supposed to take abuse. It's paint they use on shoes a lot. So what we're going to do today is just a quick change of steering wheels. It shouldn't be too hard. We all know the drill. So let's get over to the car and start taking the old one out. So always remember, anytime you're going to do any kind of work on your electrical or airbag systems, unhook the battery. Pretty simple. Just 10 millimeter. Loosen that up, and should be pretty easy to pull that negative battery cable off. That's all you got to do. You can leave the positive connected. It won't really hurt anything because there's no circuit there. So we've got that done. Now let's get inside the car. So the next step on this is to remove the airbag right here, which if you can see this little hole right here, I don't know if you can see it, it's above my finger. We need to try and find a screwdriver that'll fit in there. Not that one, a little too big. Try this one. Almost too big, but it fit. And there's some little detents in there you got to push in to allow airbag to pop out. And I got the one, but I missed the other one. Okay, there. Airbag's loose. Now we just need to remove the connectors, which is always fun. More so when you can see what you're doing. Okay, one. I see the screwdriver did come in useful. You can pop these up with it. Let's see what we get. Blue and white on my right, and yellow and brown or purple on my left. Okay, and they're color coded: black, black, yellow, yellow. So easy enough. So here's the airbag module, and that's all there is to it. So got that out. Set that to the side because we'll be putting it back in the other one. Now, next thing, we need to loosen this big nut in the middle here, and I'm not sure what size it is. It looks like a 19 or a 20, maybe a 21. Not exactly sure. I'm gonna go ahead and get this plug out of the way. Get that unplugged, and we'll be right back. Let me go grab something else. Okay, so next thing we got to do is remove the steering wheel nut that's holding the steering wheel in, and this is a 24 millimeter nut. So I think it's only 24 I have, but that's fine. See how hard this is to take off. Might actually need an extension. Yep, gonna need an extension. So 24 millimeter socket to remove the steering wheel nut. Gonna need to extension, a little short one. And then try and use our ratchet here. See if we can break this nut. And yep, no problem. And to speed up getting it out. Oh shit, that's pretty easy. It's really short. It's not even very big. It's got a huge head on it. Little teeny screw or bolt. So, and comes off just like that. Pretty simple. So let's take this over to the workbench. The lighting here is not so great today, but for this next process you're going to need 2 torque wrenches, a T15 and a T20, to pull out these screws that hold all the buttons and everything in that you have to swap over to the other one. So T15 for all these silver screws in here, if you can see, and the black ones are T20s. So let's get on that. So now that the screws are out, we got to figure out how to get these out. I guess they've got some clips retaining them in up here too, so we're going to try and be careful not to break anything and pull these out. Okay, it seems to me something that might help here is taking this cover up and getting it out of the way. One. More screws underneath. Now on to the other side. Should be about the same. I said it should be about the same. And it is, it's just being a little bit more complicated. Okay, that one more screw. So there we go, all the plugs are out. We're going to do a really quick side-by-side comparison of these two here in a second. I'm going to put this piece back on so they look almost identical for the parts that are pretty much identical. And we'll do a little comparison. So let's look at these two steering wheels. They look almost identical. I mean, for the most part, if you look at them, they're basically the same layout, everything except you got some Alcantara on here, and you've got the stripe in the middle. A little bit different look to it because of that, but essentially that's about it. You've got the flat bottom on the GT350, but the wheel itself is actually the same size, maybe even a little bit larger. So being as big as it is, I'm not sure how well that flat bottom actually helps on it. I thought the wheel was a little bit smaller, but until I got them next to each other, I didn't know. They've got all the same connections, same hookups. I still have to remove this little plastic piece here to put over there. And I'm going to do that now, and then we will install the steering wheel. go. Got all our buttons back in. Now we just need to put all the screws back in and we'll be good to go to put it back in the car. Well, I'm really surprised, being that this is metal here, why these weren't machine screws. I think they should have been machine screws myself, but it's not the way they went. So now all that's left is to go put it back in the car, tighten it down, and make sure it's straight, plug in the battery, and make sure everything still works. The car, we're going to put the steering wheel back on, right here, and tighten it down. We have with us our torque wrench, so we can torque this thing down to 35 foot-pounds. It's not a lot. I mean, I showed you the bolt. It's not very big, so let's go ahead and feed these wires in for the airbag. Okay. Oh, clock spring's turning on me. Now, I did not mark my steering wheel before removing it, but this is a Ford steering wheel which does not have a spline drive. It has a hex drive, and so it really would have been hard for it to actually turn. So as long as I put it back on within, you know, the confines of the hex. If I'm off, I'm going to be off by 1/6. $35. Much sturdier feel. Now let's go ahead and plug this one back in, which connects basically all the steering wheel controls through the clock spring. Last thing to do on the steering wheel install here, other than put the battery back in and test everything, is plug this back in. So yeah, the black one goes in the black one. Put the thing down. The yellow one goes in the yellow one, like so. Make sure your connections are secure. And then this little one goes back down here where it came out of. And click that in. And let's flip this over so it's the right way. Wouldn't want my horsey to be upside down. Basically, we're just going to line it up, push it in. We're good. Next thing is I'm going to go hook the battery back up, and then we'll test everything. Be right back. Okay, so now I'll turn the car on. Test all the cruise control buttons until we're actually moving. Volume, it works. The button's working. Cancel. Cancel.
Cancel.
When I have my phone hooked back up, we'll test the rest of the buttons. Horn works. So, seems we're all good. Now we have this nice red stripe up there. It's going to look real good. For the drag strip, it just needs to point straight, so that's pretty easy. For road track is when I like to know where I am. Oh, the grip is so much better on this wheel. So much better. Yeah, I do like this a lot more. Okay, well, I will probably drive this. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Pretty simple and easy install. Anybody could probably do it. It's fairly simple in the Mustang. Most cars, it's pretty simple. The hardest part was actually just moving the stuff from one wheel to the other. Other than that, shouldn't have any problems. I will check out all the buttons that I couldn't test while it was sitting still, cruise control and all that, but I'm pretty sure they're going to work. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hope to see you again here next time at Pink's Garage. Keep those motors running.